The biggest controversy from the Belgian Grand Prix wasn't Lewis Hamilton's 5-second penalty. It was the hidden chain reaction that television barely showed. One battery deployment failure, one snap of Ferrari understeer, one missing section of Hamilton's floor. Suddenly, a collision that looked straightforward became a political minefield, exposing Mercedes' reliability crisis, Ferrari's lost podium, and an FIA decision that has split the Formula One paddock once again. Spa-Francorchamps has always rewarded the team that understands momentum better than raw speed. Mercedes locked out one of the strongest positions on the grid, with George Russell starting ahead of Lewis Hamilton, while Ferrari believed their upgraded SF26 finally had the pace to challenge at the front despite Hamilton's compromised qualifying after his FP3 crash. Everything pointed toward another tactical battle between two former teammates who know each other's habits almost better than anyone else on the grid. But there's a catch. What the television broadcast never fully explained was that Russell wasn't defending with a healthy Mercedes at all. Hidden telemetry, an engine energy deployment issue, and an unseen radio outburst completely changed the context of Hamilton's attack into Les Combes. Was the FIA judging only the contact while ignoring the cause? Or did Mercedes accidentally create the very collision that ultimately destroyed its own race? Before we move on, make sure to smash that like button and hit subscribe so you never miss out on any of our latest videos. The evidence we're about to uncover completely changes how this collision should be judged, and why several teams quietly agree the FIA may have missed the bigger picture. Let's begin with a detail that completely changes the story. Most fans saw George Russell being overtaken down the Kemmel Straight and assumed Ferrari simply had superior straight-line speed. That isn't what actually happened. According to Russell's own radio, which never made the international television feed, his Mercedes suffered a dramatic state of charge drop immediately after Eau Rouge. In modern Formula One, the battery is just as important as the internal combustion engine. The hybrid system stores electrical energy and releases it strategically along the longest straights. At Spa, the Kemmel Straight is precisely where maximum deployment matters most. Russell's battery didn't simply deploy less energy, it effectively ran out. His furious radio message tells the entire story. What the happened with the SoC down the straight? I had no battery. Unacceptable. That isn't a driver complaining after making a mistake. That's a driver revealing that his defensive weapon disappeared exactly when Hamilton launched his attack. And this is where the political drama begins. The FIA judged the collision almost entirely from the moment Hamilton's Ferrari understeered into Russell's Mercedes. Technically, their explanation is understandable. Hamilton lost the front axle, failed to maintain sufficient separation, and contact followed. Simple. Except Formula One is almost never that simple. Because before either driver reached Les Combes, Mercedes had already handed Russell an impossible situation. Without full ERS deployment, Russell became a sitting duck. Instead of defending normally into turn 5, he suddenly found himself surrounded by Hamilton, Charles Leclerc, and the chasing pack. Russell himself admitted he was more frustrated about being placed in that vulnerable position than about the contact itself. That is a crucial distinction. Notice what he actually said. He didn't accuse Hamilton of reckless driving. He didn't accuse Ferrari of dirty racing. Instead, he admitted Hamilton was more to blame while insisting it was still a racing incident that happened because Mercedes had already compromised his race before the braking zone even arrived. That's an extraordinary statement when both drivers involved in a collision argue against the penalty. Perhaps the controversy isn't the drivers. Perhaps it's the interpretation. Even Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur stepped into the debate. He didn't defend Hamilton simply because he drives for Ferrari. He pointed towards something much more technical. Lap 1, a phase that matters enormously. Historically, FIA stewards have consistently shown greater tolerance during opening lap incidents because the field remains compressed. Tire temperatures are unstable, fuel loads are at their maximum, and aerodynamic turbulence is significantly worse than later in the race. Vasseur's argument wasn't emotional, it was procedural. If similar first-lap contacts throughout the season were judged as racing incidents, why was Spa suddenly different? That question is now echoing throughout the paddock. Hamilton openly accepted responsibility for crashing during final practice. At first glance, that mistake seemed unrelated to Sunday's controversy. It wasn't. That single accident triggered a domino effect inside Ferrari's garage. With valuable practice time lost, Ferrari never fully validated its preferred setup. Hamilton admitted the balance wasn't where the engineers wanted it, forcing compromises before qualifying had even begun. Instead of starting alongside the frontrunners, he found himself buried in traffic. That changed everything. A better grid position would almost certainly have kept Hamilton away from Russell entirely. No compromised Mercedes ahead, no desperate first-lap overtake, no damaged floor, no 5-second penalty. One mistake on Saturday created 3 separate consequences on Sunday. That is Formula One at its most brutal. Now compare Ferrari's situation with Mercedes. Ferrari's problem was largely self-inflicted. Hamilton's practice crash cost the team preparation time. Mercedes' issue, however, came from within the car itself. Toto Wolff later confirmed engineers had identified an energy deployment problem affecting Russell's power unit. His explanation was particularly revealing. Modern hybrid systems are incredibly complex, balancing energy harvesting, battery deployment, engine mapping, and driver inputs hundreds of times every lap. When even one parameter falls outside its operating window, the entire overtaking and defending strategy collapses. Wolff even admitted the fault accounted for roughly half of the performance gap Russell suffered, compared with teammate Kimi Antonelli. Half. That isn't a minor calibration error. That's the difference between attacking the cars ahead and becoming an easy target. And here's where the championship picture quietly shifts. While Russell disappeared into the gravel, Antonelli calmly collected another victory. No drama, no radio explosions, just another ruthless performance. The standings now tell a painful story. Antonelli leads the Drivers' Championship on 204 points. Hamilton follows on 159. Russell sits 5 points further back on 154 after scoring nothing at Spa. A single retirement has transformed what could have been a close 3-way fight into a far steeper climb. The Constructors' Championship paints an equally revealing picture. Mercedes still leads with 358 points, but instead of celebrating another dominant weekend, the headlines are filled with questions about reliability, internal frustration, and operational mistakes. That is exactly how momentum disappears in Formula One. Not through one catastrophic failure, but through several small failures arriving at exactly the wrong moment. Instead of criticizing Russell or questioning Mercedes publicly, he immediately spoke about sending Russell a text message after the race. There was no war of words, no accusations, just mutual respect between two drivers who understood the incident far better than social media did. The Hungarian Grand Prix is only days away, but Spa may have left deeper scars than the championship table reveals. If Mercedes has solved its ERS deployment issue, Russell could strike back immediately. But if the FIA continues applying inconsistent standards to first-lap incidents, today's controversy may only be the beginning. Let us know your verdict in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into Formula One's biggest hidden stories.